Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. So today we are continue our lesson Form 2 Science Chapter 5 Water and Solution. Okay, in this topic we have three subtopic. 5.1 Physical characteristic of water, 5.2 Solution and rate of solubility, 5.3 Water purification and water supply. So for today's subtopic, I will cover chapter 5.1 Physical Characteristic of Water. The physical properties of water. Okay, water is a colorless, tasteless, and odorless liquid. Water exists in three stages, which are solid, liquid, and gas. Boiling point of water 100 degrees Celsius. The freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. The density of water is 1 gram over centimeter cube. So this is the physical properties of water or the characteristic of water. Change of state of water. So the water has exist in three states of matter, which is gas, liquid, and solid. So gas to solid, the process is sublimation. Gas to liquid, condensation. Liquid to solid, freezing process. If the solid to liquid, melting. Liquid to gas, evaporation. Solid to gas, sublimation. So the red color is heat given out. The blue color is heat taken in. Okay, water has a high surface tension. The cohesive force is defined as the force of attraction between molecules of the same substance. The adhesive force is defined as the force of attraction between different substances such as glass and water. So the cohesive force is the force attraction between the same substance. For example, water and water. So we call it cohesive force. If adhesive force is the force that attract between different substances such as glass and water. So the cohesion force, the water stick to itself. Addition, water stick to the other things. So H2O and anything else with a charge. So now we look at composition of water. Okay, the water is a chemical compound that made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. The ratio of hydrogen to oxygen is 2/1. So 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen. Water can be broken up into hydrogen and oxygen through the process of electrolysis. So this is the water molecule. We have 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atom. So this process to break down the water, we call it electrolysis. So in the process of electrolysis, oxygen is discharged at the anode, or we call it as positive electrode, and hydrogen is discharged at the cathode, or we call it as negative electrode. So this is positive, negative, positive, and positive. So at the positive electrode, the gas collected is oxygen. At the negative electrode, the hydrogen gas is collected at the cathode. So the positive electrode we call it as anode. The negative electrode we call it as cathode. So the water here is acidified water. We add some hydrochloric acid to the water to make it acidic, so that the electrolysis of water can be done. So the confirmation test of water composition. So oxygen is tested with a glowing wooden spoon. The wooden spoon light up when the oxygen is present. For hydrogen, we test it with a lighted wooden split. The pop sound is produced when hydrogen is present. So this is the test for oxygen. We use it, glowing wooden splints. So if the oxygen present, the wooden splinter light up. For hydrogen test, we use a lighted wooden splint. So the pop sound is produced when the hydrogen gas is present. Okay, what is the effect of impurities on the physical characteristic of water? For example, when the water without salt is the impurities. So the freezing point will be lower than 0 degrees Celsius. For boiling point, it is more than 100 degrees Celsius. For the density, more than 1 gram over centimeter cube. So this is the effect of impurities in the physical characteristic of water. Freezing point will be lower than 0 degrees Celsius. For boiling point, more than 100 degrees Celsius. For density, more than 1 gram over centimeter cube. Okay, freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. So here is the distilled water in the boiling tube is cool until it begin to freeze. So the thermometer show the distilled water change into ice at 0 degrees Celsius. So here we know that freezing point of water is 0 degree Celsius. So this is the cooling graph of water. So we look at the graph, liquid, and then the water started to freeze at 0 degrees Celsius. And then the water freeze completely and then turn into solid. Kinetic theory of freezing point of water. So the particle lose kinetic energy and move slowly. The temperature fall. At the freezing point, the particles are packed closer together and cannot move freely anymore. When the water is cold, so this is what happened when the water is cold. So from liquid, it will turn into solid. Now we look at boiling point of water. So the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. The pure water in the flask is heated till it boils. The thermometer shows the pure water changes into steam at 100 degrees Celsius. So we know that the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So this is the heating graph of water. So from liquid, the water started to boil, and then at the moment, a few minutes later, the water boil completely. So the temperature when the water turn into steam is 100 degrees Celsius. So this is the boiling point of water. And then the liquid changes into gas. Okay, the kinetic theory of boiling point of water. When the water is heated, the particle gains kinetic energy and move faster. The temperature goes up. At the boiling point, some particles gain enough energy to break the force attraction between the particles and become steam that move freely. So it will change from liquid to gas. Okay, now we look at the topic evaporation of water. Okay, what is evaporation? Okay, the water evaporation is a process where water molecules are released as vapor into the air below boiling point of water. So the water molecule are released as the vapor into air below boiling point of water. So we call it evaporation process. So here is the picture, the diagram of evaporation. So the liquid changes into the gas below boiling point of water. Okay, the application of evaporation of water in daily life. For example, drying hair, drying clothes, preservation of agricultural product, processing of milk powder. So all this process are the application of evaporation process. Okay, factor that influence the rate of water evaporation. So the factor we have 4 factor: surrounding temperature, the air movement, the air humidity, and surface area. So the higher the temperature, the faster the rate of water evaporation. For example, during the hot day, when we dry the clothes, the clothes is more faster to dry. Okay, moving air. Moving air quicken the evaporation process by blow away the water particles from the water surface into the atmosphere. Air humidity, the water particle can escape easily when the atmosphere is dry. Therefore, the evaporation occurs faster. Surface area, the wider the surface area, the faster the rate of water evaporation. So this is all the factor that influence the rate of water evaporation. Okay, how to increase the evaporation rate in daily life? Okay, for example, we use drying hair using hair dryer. So the blower increase air movement. Spread out the clothes to increase surface area. So the wet clothes dry under hot sun. So this is how we increase the evaporation rate in daily life. Now we look at what is the difference between evaporation and boiling. So evaporation takes place at any temperature below boiling point. Boiling takes place at boiling point only, that is 100 degrees Celsius. Evaporation, it takes place below boiling point of water. Evaporation is a slower process, while the boiling is a vigorous process. For evaporation, it occurs only at the water surface. For boiling, it occurs throughout the water. Evaporation influenced by the temperature surrounding, air movement, air humidity, and surface area. For boiling, it does not influence by the temperature surrounding, air movement, air humidity, and surface area.